To date, you have captured 895 fugitives. Coming up, the clues that could lead to your next capture. Now, join the manhunt with John Walsh.
Tonight, we begin with the international manhunt for the wealthy Reno businessman accused of brutally stabbing his wife to death, then trying to shoot down the judge who is presiding over his divorce. Cops say Darren Mack may have flown himself out of the country after his explosion of violence. An explosion that now appears to have been part of a carefully planned murder plot. Ed Miller has the latest.
On top of his good looks, muscles, and brawn, Darren Mack is charming, debonair, and a millionaire several times over. By all appearances, this guy has the world by the tail. He was Prince Charming to a brunette beauty named Charla. They soon fell in love and married in 1995. In a couple of years, they had a daughter named Erica.
The three of them just got along so well, and it was such a beautiful relationship.
But things between this perfect couple were not as they seemed. They argued and grew apart. There were even accusations of abuse.
She called me up one day, hysterical, crying, sobbing, and she just said, Darren threw me on the floor, and he choked me. And I just said, why don't you call the police? Go, at least go take pictures. And she just said, I don't want him to lose his pawn license.
It is unclear what caused the change in Darren Mack's behavior. His buddies from the gym would not confirm or deny Mack's use of steroids. Some speculate that Darren Mack was never the same after coming down with meningitis.
I believe that something happened to his brain because he started getting more and more irrational and violent.
It was about this same time that family and friends became aware of Darren Mack's double life. It was a double life including internet dating and group sex, something he tried to get his wife Charla to do.
Charla did, in fact, tell me that Darren was into a swinger lifestyle and that he, frequently would fly out of state to visit parties or however they do that.
He was pretty wild, and she just didn't want to be as wild, and that's where she kind of drew the line in the sand.
So a decade into the marriage, Charla had had enough and filed for divorce in 2005.
By all indications, the divorce was tumultuous at best. He was obsessed with some of the rulings, and he felt that the judge had treated him unfairly.
Especially upsetting for Darren Mack was the judge's order that he must pay $10,000 a month in alimony and child support. He had no intention of following the judge's order.
He took his money out of the country, and he declared bankruptcy, and he said he was a pauper, and he had no money for even toothpaste for Erica at the store.
He just wasn't paying the bills that he was supposed to be paying under the court order. And that was a source of friction, in the divorce proceedings.
It was so tense, in fact, that both of them took out restraining orders against each other.
She did convey to me that she was afraid someday he might harm her in some way.
I can't believe what you did last week in court.
That day came when the two came face to face in Darren Mack's garage on Monday morning, June 12th. Police say the argument turned deadly when Darren Mack pulled out a huge military-style knife.
It's over with.
Stop!
Charla Mack was stabbed several times in the face, neck, and chest. 39-year-old Charla Mack died in a pool of blood. Police say right where Darren Mack left her.
So if you see me...
And in spite of what just happened, cops say Darren Mack joined a friend and his own daughter Erica at this coffee shop just moments after murdering his wife. Witnesses say Darren was calm as could be. But no one could have guessed what cops say Darren Mack was planning next. He drives to downtown Reno and into a parking garage directly across from the courthouse. Cops say that's where he calmly sets up a high-powered rifle, a Bushmaster .223 caliber, equipped with a laser sighting device. It is the same rifle used in the Washington, D.C. sniper killings. Cops say the man responsible for slashing his wife to death 2 hours earlier had now come to downtown Reno with another murder on his mind. His target? Chuck Weller, the family court judge presiding over his bitter divorce.
Darren Mack has come here many times for court hearings. And as he processes through the court security systems, he has to have known that he can't get through here with a firearm or other weapons. Therefore, he chose to step out and shoot from afar away from this building.
A single shot fired. Judge Weller is shot and wounded, but manages to escape with his life, as Darren Mack also makes his escape.
You can see the boarded up window where Judge Weller was shot. We are on the 5th floor. We suspect that the shot came from either the 5th or 4th floor based on the trajectory.
This week, Charla Mack's family and friends laid her to rest in a Reno cemetery, the same day that the FBI named her husband to their most wanted list. And because Darren knows how to fly a plane, the manhunt for him has taken cops around the world.
It is not known when Judge Weller will return to his courtroom here in Reno. He has been taken to a secret location where he is surrounded by armed guards. He has spoken to no one except America's Most Wanted. In a phone conversation, he told me he does not want to say anything that might provoke the shooter to come after him again. He is most concerned about his own family's safety and wants more protection for judges everywhere.
An attack on a judge in our criminal justice system is an attack on that very system.
America's Most Wanted has been working alongside Reno District Attorney Dick Gamick this week as he tried to convince Darren Mack to turn himself in.
If I don't make it there, then I'll call you. All right?
The DA learned that Mack has been hiding out in Mexico, first in Cabo San Lucas, then La Paz, Mazatlan, and Puerto Vallarta. And to help him hide out, he's been using 2 different aliases, Darren Stone and John Smith. After promising to turn himself in on Thursday morning, Mack was a no-show.
And then this morning when the time came, he didn't show up. And he just takes off to the wind, so he just kind of put himself in the class with every other murderer we look for.
But disappointment turned to determination.
The manhunt's back on full bore. We want to find him and get him off the street. How do you get there? Okay, question is, where is he?
Negotiations with Mack started up again on Thursday afternoon. And at the end of a long, tiring day, cops finally got word that Mack was in custody.
I just want to be before. No, you guys did an excellent job. Made me proud. We have him in custody in Puerto Vallarta.
Sporting a new beard, Mack turned himself over to authorities in the lobby of a Puerto Vallarta hotel. He is now back on U.S. soil.
Anything to say?
Not at this point.
And will soon be facing charges of murder for the death of his wife and attempted murder for the shooting of the judge in his divorce.
Stick around. There's a lot more to come.
The college town creeper is no longer a peeper.
What are you doing? Quite frankly, I think I'm looking for you.
And the story goes deeper when we come back.